Hello students, welcome to Career Maker powered by Adda 247. So today's topic that we are going to learn is articles. Okay, so beforehand the chapters that we have taken over is like nouns. We did questions based on and chapters based on pronouns, then subject verb agreement. We did questions on the part of questions based on adjectives and all, right. Tenses we saw. Okay, so the next topic that we have is articles, right. And articles is a very important topic because you get a number of questions. You get sentence error questions, you get sentence improvement, phrase replacement, such type of questions. Though you talk about bank exams or you are talking about SSC exams, in both the exams you will be getting questions based on the both the parts, that is on the basis of articles, right. So when we talk about articles is basically divided in two types. Okay, so two types when we say, one is definite article, okay, and second one is indefinite article. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ പറയുമ്പം രണ്ട് ടൈപ്സ് ആണ് പറഞ്ഞേക്കുന്നത്, right. So when we talk about the two types, okay, definite article is nothing but when we use the term of the, and when we talk about indefinite article we use two words, one is a and second word is and. So there are two words that is applied with indefinite article, and when we talk about definite article there is only one word, that is the. So the use is quite different. Okay, so when we applying definite article, okay, or when we applying indefinite article in a statement, രണ്ടിൻ്റെയും uses different ആണ്, okay, rules different ആണ്. We are having omissions also. Okay, some part of our sentences where we have to omit the use of definite article with a noun, or some part of our statements where we have to omit the use of indefinite article in a statement, right. So first we'll move on with definite article. I have mentioned some rules also. Okay, just some I have given, and so you can see that we'll start with definite article first. Okay, I'll just give you an example. If I'm saying, are you going to the party? Okay, it's nothing but the question. Example I have mentioned based on definite article. So in this question you can see I have mentioned, are you going to the party? A question is given, and with the word of party I have applied the word the. So whenever we are using definite article, the main use of definite article is whenever you are using a definite article, it is always used to stress on a subject, to show a specific subject over there. So ഇവിടെ നമ്മൾക്ക് തന്നേക്കുന്നത് are you going to the party is, right. So here if I am saying are you going to party, okay, or if I am saying are you going to the party, there is a difference. What is the difference? Okay, the difference is when we ask a person are you going to the party, that means the second person to whom you are asking the question. Okay, ആ ഒരു ആൾ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കുന്ന ആളിനോട് നമ്മൾ ഈ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആരോടാണോ ചോദിക്കുന്നത്, ആ ആളിനെ നേരത്തെ തന്നെ അറിയാം ഏതോ ഫംഗ്ഷന് വേണ്ടി പാർട്ടി അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്, റൈറ്റ്. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ഹീ ടു നോസ് ദാറ്റ് ദർ ഇസ് എ പാർട്ടി ആൻഡ് ഹി നോസ് ദ ടൈം ദാറ്റ് യെസ് അറ്റ് ദാറ്റ് ടൈം ഐ ഹാവ് ടു ഗോ. ഓക്കെ, സോ ആർ യു ജസ്റ്റ് ഇഫ് യു ആർ എ ഫ്രണ്ട് യു ആർ സിംപ്ലി ആസ്കിങ് ആർ യു ഗോയിങ് ടു ദ പാർട്ടി, റൈറ്റ്. സോ യു നോ അബൌട്ട് ദി ഫംഗ്ഷൻ. ബട്ട് ഇഫ് ഐ എം സേയിങ് are you going to party, that means you don't know that there is some party, okay, and there is some invitation over there, you don't know about it. So if I am using the party, that means the person knows. And if I am saying if I am asking are you going to party, at that time the person will ask which party you are talking about, because the person doesn't know. Clear? So that means there is a difference when we apply the party and if I am not using the definite article the. So that's what I told you, that when we are applying the, it shows a character of specific, okay, and if I am not applying it, it will be a simple sentence, right. So in both the frames you can see the answer will be quite different, right, because if I am saying if I'm asking are you going to the party, you will say yes or no, because the second person knows you are talking about which party. But if you are saying are you going to party, the person will ask which party you are talking about. Got the point, right. So that is the difference when we are using a definite article in a sentence, right. So we'll see what are the rules, okay, and how it is being applied in a sentence, right. So here we can see the rules that I have mentioned here. The first one that we have is using with the superlative degree. So when we say superlative degree, it's a part of the adjectives, okay, and you can see that during our school time in 10th or 12th, okay, we have learned about the degree of comparison, right? Degree of comparison was a topic in grammar, okay, you all may be knowing it, okay. So in that, in degree of comparison, we are having 3 degrees. One is the positive degree, okay, second is the comparative degree, and third one is the superlative degree. These are the 3 degrees. So whenever we are using these 3 degrees over there, right, in that the third degree, so that's why adjective form, the third form of the degree is nothing but the superlative degree, right? So when we are applying the superlative degree in a statement, right, we usually, when we are saying like he is the best student, he is the intelligent, he is the most intelligent, right? So whenever we are saying this, right, if you want to say something on the superlative frames, okay, in if I am saying something on a sentence where we are exaggerating the subject, okay, and we are using the subject to qualify the subject, if I am using an adjective in superlative with that degree, we have to apply what? The definite article, right? So we can see with the example here what is given. Ram is the best student of our class, right? So here the subject nothing but Ram, okay, is the noun ana, clear? So this subject is being qualified with an adjective, alle adjective edana superlative degree ആണ് അല്ലേ ബെസ്റ്റ് തന്നേക്കുന്നത്, റൈറ്റ്? superlative എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ 3 degrees I told you, right? There are 3 forms. What are the 3 forms for this word? We have good, we have the word better, we have the word best. ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് പോകുന്നത്. നമ്മൾ 3 തരത്തിൽ പറയുമ്പോൾ ആദ്യത്തേതാണ് ഇതാണ് പോസിറ്റീവ് ഡിഗ്രി, ഇത് കമ്പാരറ്റീവ് ഡിഗ്രി, ഇത് സൂപ്പർലേറ്റീവ് ഡിഗ്രി. ക്ലിയർ? ഓക്കെ. സോ ഇങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഡിഗ്രീസ് പറയുന്നത്. അതിനകത്തുനിന്നാണ് നമ്മൾ മൂന്നാമത്തെ ഡിഗ്രിയാണ് എടുത്തേക്കുന്നത്, ബെസ്റ്റ്, ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ദി സൂപ്പർലേറ്റീവ് ഡിഗ്രി, റൈറ്റ്? സോ ഹിയർ യു ക്യാൻ സീ ടു ഇറ്റ്, റാം ഈസ് ദി ബെസ്റ്റ് സ്റ്റുഡൻറ്റ് ഓഫ് ആർ class. So here you can see I have used the best. Clear? So here this the is nothing but what? The definite article. Clear? So as I told you, if you are using a superlative degree as the adjective to qualify a subject, with that we will be applying what? Definite article. So that's why I say like the most intelligent, the most honest, okay, the cleverest, okay, the eldest. Fine. In the same frame, the second part is if I am using name of scriptures, like if you are talking about any of the scriptures, with those scriptures also, because they are specific in nature, we will be applying what? The definite article. So here what is given? The Ramayana is a holy book. So which is the scripture mentioned? This is the scripture. Clear? So this is the scripture mentioned over there, and with that we have applied what? The definite article over there. Clear? In the same frame, the third one that we have is name of newspaper. If we are having or if we are using any name of a newspaper, clear? So what is given? The Hindu is my favorite newspaper. So what I have applied here, which is the newspaper that I have mentioned here is Hindu, right? But with the names of newspapers also we apply what? The definite. Like when we say Times of India, we are not saying simply saying Times, we say the Times of India, the Hindu, the Indian Express. Clear? So in that manner only we are using, this is the definite article. Clear? So the terms is that you have to just remember that if I am talking about any specific subject, any specific noun over there, which is a specific in nature, which is having a unique entity terms, with all those we have to apply what? The definite article. So in that manner we saw the first 3 frames with superlative degree, okay, with the scriptures, as well as with the newspapers, right? We'll see later some more rules are we are having, okay, we'll see the omissions also. So these are the first 3 rules that is applicable for the definite article. Okay, so we saw the 3 rules in the previous time, okay, we saw the 3 rules based on definite article. Some more rules are there, we'll move on. So the 4th rule is name of river, canals, oceans, groups of islands and gulfs. Okay, if we are using these words in a statement, clear? With all these we have to apply a definite article. You can see with the examples I mentioned, the Yamuna river, right? The Pacific Ocean, the Indira Gandhi Canal, the Gulf of Kutch. So you can see I have mentioned the river, I have mentioned the ocean, I have mentioned the Gulf, okay, I have mentioned the canal. With all of them I have applied what? The definite article. These are the important frames, okay, which you have to apply whenever it is mentioned in a sentence. So in case if you get in exam any of these words coming for sentence error, you have to first of all focus is the definite article present. നമ്മുടെ അവിടെ definite article അവിടെ യൂസ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടോ എന്നാണ് നമ്മുടെ first priority wise നമ്മൾ ഒരു സെന്റൻസിനെ കറക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നോക്കേണ്ടത്. Clear? So that is the first thing. Next rule that we have as a fifth one is famous buildings, okay, historical events, directions and unique things. So previously we saw we were talking about river, canal, the islands and all, right? Here we are talking about if we are using talking about any famous building, okay, if you are talking about any unique thing, if you are talking about any direction, okay, or if you are talking about any historical event. With all of them we will be applying what? The definite article the. As I mentioned, the Red Fort, clear? The World War I, then the east, the west, the sun, the moon, clear? So you can see I have mentioned the famous building, we all know about Red Fort, right? So I have mentioned also what? The with it. I cannot simply say Red Fort, I have to say the Red Fort because it is a famous building. Next that we have the World War I, then directions that I mentioned. So here we mentioned about the historical event, okay, here we are talking about the direction over here, and here we are talking about what? The unique thing. So if you are talking about the galaxy, the Jupiter, the Neptune, okay, the moon, the star, the galaxy, these are all what? Unique things. So if we are talking about any unique thing, if you are talking about any historical event, if you are talking about any river, any ocean, these are all specific in nature. So with all of them we have to apply the definite article, right? So these are the two rules we saw. We'll move on with the next two rules. What is given here is proper nouns used as common nouns, right? So when we talk about proper nouns that are used in the sense as what? Common nouns. So when we are saying this, before telling about this rule, we have learned in the nouns there were 5 types, okay, and in those types we are having the proper noun also, we are having the common noun also, right? So what is the difference is when we talk about proper noun. Proper noun is when you talk about a specific subject or a specific place name, okay, like when we say Ram, Delhi, Kerala, Mumbai, these are all what? Specific places are being defined with a specific name. But if I am saying city, if I am saying village, if I am saying school, you are not defining which school, you are not talking about which city, clear? So if I am saying something in general, that will be what? Common nouns, right? And when I am talking about any specific subject, those are what? Proper nouns. So what is the rule here is, if you are using a proper noun, okay, in a statement, but you are using in the sense as a common noun, so whichever proper noun you are using as common noun, with that, okay, we have to apply the definite article. So actually when we see this example here, we are having 3 proper nouns. Which are the 3 proper nouns? One is Kashmir, one is India and one is Switzerland, clear, isn't it? These are all the 3 proper nouns. So but when we say in this statement, what is given? Kashmir is the Switzerland of India. We all know that Switzerland is a very, very beautiful place, clear? So here what we are saying, in India we are considering Kashmir as what? So that means that is a beautiful place in India. If someone is asking, is a beautiful place in India, definitely you will say Kashmir. So in that manner, here you are considering this proper noun. Though you can, as I told you earlier also, 3 of them are proper nouns, right? But you are considering this place as what? As a common noun, right? So that means whichever proper noun you are considering as a common noun, that subject should be used with what? Definite article the over there. So this is the definite article, clear? So you are considering what? Kashmir as what? Switzerland. But Switzerland is also a proper noun, but you are considering that proper noun as what? Common. That means any place can become as Switzerland, okay? So in that sense you are using over there. So this subject is considered as what? Common noun. So that's why that subject will be used with what? Definite article the over there. Got the point? Okay. So this is how we are using this rule. Next rule that we have, titles given to the individuals. So what is the basic frame is that when we are talking about titles given to the individuals, when we are mentioning any person's name, any person that is being given a title, with that person's, the title that is mentioned, with that title we have to apply the definite article. So what is given here? Sarojini Naidu is the Nightingale of India. Sarojini Naidu, Sarojini Naidu, the Nightingale of India, was a famous freedom fighter, right? So here what we are having, you are giving Sarojini Naidu, title is what? Nightingale of India, isn't it, right? So that means when I am using this statement, this person has been given a title. Title is what? Nightingale of India. So whenever you are giving a title to a person, that title will be having always a definite article. Got the point, right? So whenever we are using a statement, okay, you just need to remember that if you give a title to a person, title to an individual, that title whichever is given to it, okay, will be having the with it. Okay, when we say the ruler or the emperor Shivaji Maharaj, so when we say like that, the emperor, right, so that means, or the king, if I am saying like that, so the is coming because that is the title given to the person. Got the point, right? So if you are considering a proper noun as common noun, if you give a title to an individual, or if you are using any river, any specific river you are talking about, any specific ocean you are talking about, any island you are talking about, or you are talking about any specific building, if you are talking about any historical event or direction or any unique thing, with all of them we have to apply what? Definite article. So in exam what happens, like you, if you are talking about in questions, as if you are asking, like you can get this question like this may be the first part, this is not mentioned to you. Okay, this will be the second part, this will be the third, this will be the fourth, and last will be the no error. So this is the way how the question comes, right? And you have to focus, like when we read the statement, it doesn't seem wrong also, right? Sarojini Naidu, comma is given, okay, and then Nightingale of India was a famous freedom fighter. When we read, it doesn't seem wrong, nothing wrong, right? So if you are not focusing on the rules properly, you may go with no error, right? Because if you don't know the rule. But if you know the rule, you remember that yes, with the titles we have to apply what? Definite article. So what is the title given to Sarojini Naidu? Nightingale of India. So definitely this session is having error, that means I need to apply what? The over there. So this is the way how the question comes in exam, okay, how we have to notify the errors in the question when it comes in the exam. So we can easily score marks in the questions of sentence error. We will move on with the next of the rules, okay, that are based on the definite article. Okay, so we saw some rules. We will move on with some more rules based on definite article. So the 8th rule that we have is comparative degree of adjective when there is a sense of proportion, right? That means if you are talking about a sense of proportion, and in the statement when we apply the part of comparative degree in a statement, at that time whichever comparative degree we have used, with that we will be applying the definite article. As usually like in the previous slides, or sorry, in the part of previous frame and all, we saw the rules where we were applying the definite article with the superlative degree, right? So here we are using comparative, but still we are using what? The definite article. So why we are applying, we will see to it. When there is a sense of proportion, okay, you can see to it, the deeper the well, the cooler the water. So here it is going in proportional. That means as you go deep and deep into the well, you can feel what? Cooler frames over there. So that means both are going in a same what? Proportion. So it's going in the sense of what? Proportion. So when we talk about, we are comparing also, at the same time we are showing what? Proportion. So because both are different categories or different frames, we have to apply what? The definite article with the comparative degree. Same we can see the second example, the higher you go, the lighter you feel. So what is given? Higher one, lighter one, right? So that means both the things are going in the same proportion. That means you are going higher also and you are feeling what? Lighter. So when we say in this manner, because both are different aspects, though different things are happening, okay, two different things are happening, but both are what? Specific entities, okay, specific frame, but in what? Proportion. So when both the things are in proportion and we are saying in comparison, right, but both should be applied with what? The definite article. So just remember that if you are using comparative degree, but in the sentence if you are showing a character of proportion sense, at that time we have to mandatorily apply the definite article, right? Moving on towards the 9th rule. Adjectives of comparative degree when you mean selection. Like if I am saying on selection basis, right? So at that time if I am using a comparative degree, okay, and we are doing selection, at that time also with the comparative degree we will be applying what? The definite article. Like here you can see, he is the faster runner of the 2 for Olympic. So what we have used? He is the faster runner of the, from how many I am saying? 2. So when we say something from 2, we use what? Comparative. More than 2, we are using what? Superlative degree, right? So here we are saying that there are 2 persons, okay, 2 runners are there. From the 2, we are talking about 1 person, and you are saying in what? Selection basis. So that's why we applied what? The with the comparative degree. Clear? The same frame. Shan is the more intelligent. What have you used? The more intelligent of the 2 brothers. That means there are 2 brothers, and from those 2 brothers, Shan is the more intelligent one. So we applied what? Definite article. So whenever we are using comparative degree, okay, and we are saying when it is used in selection basis, at that time we have to apply what? The definite article with the comparative degrees. Clear? So we saw the 2 frames of comparative. One was showing the sense of proportion, and second is for the sense of what? Selection. So for both we have to apply what? Definite article when it is mentioned in the statement. Okay. So later we will focus. So these are the certain rules, okay, that we have to remember. Next we are having the omissions that we have to apply when we apply the definite article in a sentence. Okay, so we saw the rules. Okay, next we will focus on the omissions of definite article. Okay, so I mentioned the first 4 omissions. First omission you can see is with abstract nouns, right? So when we talk about abstract nouns, we have learned regarding the abstract nouns in the nouns chapter, first chapter, right? So abstract nouns are the things that are the terms, right? When we say we're talking about a feel part, emotion part and all, right? So those are known as what? The frames of abstract nouns, right? So when we talk about like the honesty, right? Honesty, goodness, polite, okay, these are all the terms like when we are using in a statement, right, to define a part of a statement where you are showing the emotion, the feeling, character and all, right. So those are known as what? The abstract nouns, right. So when we talk about the abstract noun, so if you are using an abstract noun statement, you have to remember that we have to see that we are not using the definite article with the abstract nouns, right. So here it is given the honesty is the best for this. So this frame is wrong because what is the abstract noun used here? Honesty, right? So this you have to know, and simply saying honesty is the best policy. This is correct because this is the superlative degree, right? So when we talk about the part of a statement where we have applied the abstract noun, remember that we are not using the definite article with the abstract nouns, right? Next that we have is regarding metals, right? So when I am saying, if I am using a statement where I have used the metals, like the gold is a metal. So here what is the metal used? Gold. But what I applied here? Definite article. So you have to remember that you should never apply the or the definite article with the metals also. I have to move this. But there is a difference, right? If I am particularizing a metal, like if I am saying, like if I say if I am saying the gold of India has a good shine. See, if I am saying like this, what I am doing in this sentence and this one, this is a general sentence, this is particularizing. You are talking about the gold, okay, that metal that is belonging to which place? India. So this is particularizing. So whenever you particularize the subject, the metal, at that time we apply the definite article. So this is the exception frame that you can see here is with the terms. If I am using the metals, you have to see, are you using it in a particularized manner or you are using it in a general frame. Okay, the same manner you can see here with meals also. When you are talking about like meals, if I am defining, like he had the dinner with friends. So what is the meal defined here? Dinner. But what I have applied the, so this is wrong. With meals we never say, we can say he had dinner with friends. That is the correct frame. But if you are particularizing, like if I am saying the wedding dinner was organized at Taj Hotel. So what we are saying? The wedding dinner. So this is what? You are particularizing over there. So whenever we particularize, at that time we apply what? The. Like I told you here. As in the part of metal I told you, the same frame when I am talking with meals also. If we are particularizing, we have to apply the. But if not, then it will go without it. Clear? So that is the difference in the omission. The last omission frame, you can see next one, with languages. If I am talking about languages, with language also we have to omit the use of definite article. Like the English is an international language. What is the language mentioned? English. So this is not. Right, because when we say the English, the German, okay, those define what group, but here you are talking this word English is acting as what? Language. You are not talking about the group. Like if I am saying, if I say the same thing, the English is spoken by the English. If I say like this, what is the difference? I have mentioned both the English only. But this one and this English, there is a difference, because this is what? Language. That is what this one, right? And this is indicating what? The group of people that speak this language. So here this the is wrong, but here this is correct. So you need to know the difference part. That means when we are applying a statement, the omission should be very, very clear for you. Like I told you here, this omission should be very clear. This omission should be very clear, right? So if the question comes in this manner, you have to be very thorough with the part of the rules, the omissions, that when it comes you can easily excel in the exam by doing these type of omission part, right? So you need to remember this. So you have to revise the rules so that accordingly you can do the error detections in the question, right? We'll move on with some more omissions of the definite article. Okay, so we saw some omissions, the last two omissions based on definite article. So the fifth part of omission that we have, before the name of games. If you are using, okay, a game in the pair and use channel statement and that you not need to use the definite article. That means you have to omit the use of definite article if you are placing the name of a game. Like the football is a popular game. So what I've used? The football. So it's wrong. Not using the, okay. Same frame if I'm saying the cricket, okay, I have to remove the cricket part, okay, the with the word of cricket. So football is a popular game. So that's why I mentioned here wrong. Now it is correct. Clear, right? So this is the one more part of the omission, okay. You can say the second last omission. So whenever we are applying the name of games, you have to see that you are just omitting the definite article the from it, okay. In the same frame, next that we have is before the noun used to show a routine place for primary purpose. See, remember that we have to also omit the definite article, okay, with the place. If you are talking about any routine place where you go every day, like the example here, Rahul goes to the school. What I use? To the school. This the is not required, because we know that when we are saying school, that means he is going every day to the school, right? So that means when this statement defines the part of what? What is the primary purpose? He is going to school to study, isn't it, right? So this is the primary purpose for which he is going to school. So whenever we are talking about a place, a routine place which is defining the for the primary purpose he is going, at that time we have to omit the use of the. So we are saying Rahul goes to school every day. You can say like that. Clear? So now it will be correct. Got the point? Okay. In the same frame, but you can say here, he is. This is different. Okay. An exceptional frame you can say is the use of the part of the routine place. He is going to the school where Sachin Tendulkar studied. Is this like when we say when we read this statement? This is not defining primary purpose. Whenever that the person is not going every day to the school to see that yes, this was the school where Sachin Tendulkar has studied. We are not doing like that. this statement is showing primary purpose, but this is what? He is just going to school to visit the place where Tendulkar has studied over there. So that means what we can say, this frame of the school is, because this is in specific, a specific school where Sachin Tendulkar has studied, but this is defining what? Primary purpose. So when it is primary purpose, we are not using the, but when it is apart from primary purpose, we do apply the definite article the over there. So this is a small difference when we are applying. So remember that if when you are talking about any game, okay, omit the use of definite article. If you are talking about any place which is a routine place and the sentence defines the primary purpose, we won't be applying the. But if it apart from the primary purpose, definitely we will be applying the definite article, because it is showing something in specific, not showing the part of primary purpose, right? So these are the omissions of definite article which you have to remember, so that you can clearly analyze how to detect the error. Next we will focus on the part of indefinite articles. So in the previous class we had seen regarding the definite articles, okay. So here we are going to see about the indefinite articles. I told you we are having two types of articles. One is the definite and second one was the indefinite. So in indefinite, when we talk about indefinite articles, we are having two. One is a and second one is an, okay. And when we talk about a as the part of article, it is always preceding, okay, to a word, okay, that starts with a consonant. So if I am saying about example terms, okay, to define the article a character, okay. So like if I am saying a car, I can say a book, a pen, all these, right. So these are all words starting with a consonant, right. We are having a car, that is a C is a consonant, like B is a consonant, P is a consonant, right. So always when we are using the indefinite articles, the two articles that we use, a and an, okay. So a is used when the word is having the consonant part, and an will be applied when we are talking about the word that is starting with a vowel, right. So when we can see here the second one, that is an, and it is preceding a word that starts with what? Vowel. This was with consonant, right. So if we want to give the example, we can say an egg, okay, an ink pot, an umbrella. Clear? So that is what we are having. So indefinite articles are including two, a and an. One is used when we are using a part of consonant, and one is used when we are using the vowels. And vowels, all you know it, a, e, I, o, u, right. So if you are having any of these vowels in a statement, if you are using, so at that time definitely we will be using what? An over there, right. So in the same frame, when we are talking about the part of indefinite articles, as I told you there are two. So first we will start with the use of a, okay, and then we will gradually move on towards the an part. So here you can see to it, the first use of a as an indefinite article is before all singular common nouns that starts with a consonant. That means whenever a word is starting, that I told you here also, okay, when a word is starting with a consonant, we apply the indefinite article a over there. So in that manner you can see, she bought a car. So we have used the indefinite article a, and we are having the noun that is used is car, and C is the consonant. Second, a black and a white dog were the pets of Mr. Ram. So what I have used is a black and a white dog. Clear? So here we are having a, here also we are having what? A. So both are what? You can see B is the consonant, right, and W, which is also a consonant. So when a word starts with a consonant, we are applying the indefinite article a in front of them. The second use you can see to it is if a word begins with a vowel, okay, but gives the sound of a consonant. That means if we are using a word, okay, though it is starting with what? With a vowel, but when we are pronouncing it, the sound comes of what? Consonant, right? So you can see the examples also here. It was a one-eyed dog. Second one, it was a useful activity. So here I have used A, which is again the article, indefinite article, but you can see one. See, we are having A, E, I, O, U. So O is what? It's nothing but a vowel, right? But what we have applied is A in front of it. So there are certain terms, right? When we talk about certain words, like if we are talking about the example terms, right? If I am saying, if we pronounce the word, the sound is of the part of consonant. That's the only reason why we are applying what? A over here. Like if I am saying, when I am saying this one only, if I am saying a one-man army. Okay, so what is happening here? If I am saying this O is what? Vowel, right? But when we are pronouncing, or when we are saying about that word, when we pronounce, the echo is coming of which word? One, right? So one, which is W, okay, and W is what? Consonant. Fine. So that means when we pronounce, and if the sound of a consonant is coming, in that cases we have to apply what? A over there. Okay. In the same manner, when we are saying universal, we know that U is what? U is again a character of what? Vowel only. But when we are saying universal, or when we say like umbrella, as I told you earlier, the example which I gave you, umbrella is having the echo form of what? A is coming. When we say umbrella, A is the part of word that comes in the part of echo. But when I am saying universal, the word that echo is what? U, which is nothing but Y, okay, and Y is again what? Consonant. So in that cases we have to apply, we never say an universal or an universe. What we say? A universal truth or a universe. Clear? So that is what here also we have used. A one-eyed dog is given. Okay. In the same manner, it was a useful activity. Again useful. So U is coming. That means nothing but this word, and Y is nothing but consonant. So that's the reason we are applying what? The article A over here. Clear? So this is how we have to know that when we are using the indefinite articles A or an, how we apply the terms, how we focus, how is the sound coming, is the echo coming on the sense of consonant or it is coming on the sense of vowel. Accordingly, we can make the changes in the statements over there. If we get a question of say error part, okay, we can easily, because in exam you may get like in question, for exam you may get like this, it was an useful activity. So when we see U is there, so we have a misconception that like if it is vowels only, we have to apply the an. It's not like that. Okay, we have to see that the sound is coming, the echo is coming on which manner, and then accordingly we have to make the changes. So here it was, we have to say that this part will be having the error, and we will be replacing the word of an with the word of A. Clear? So this is how we make the changes. Okay, in the statement we have having some more usual rules regarding this one. So later we can see the next of the rules. Okay, so we saw the indefinite articles in the part of in the beforehand. We saw the uses of A, the two uses we saw. The third uses, we use A is used when a verb functions as a noun in a sentence. That means we use A with what? With a verb. Verb is nothing but the action. Okay, verb functions when the verb is functioning as what? As a noun over there, right? So this is what that means, though we are using a verb, but that action is acting as what? As a noun content. So when a verb acts as a noun, we have to use what? The indefinite article A with it. We can see with the examples. Both of us go for a walk in the morning. So here we have used both of us go for a walk. I have mentioned. See, walk is nothing but an action. It's an activity, right? It's a verb content. But what I have used here is what? A walk. So a plus verb is becoming what? Noun. Clear? So now when I am saying I am going for a walk, when I say, that means I am talking in sense what? Noun, right? I had a walk if I am saying, then also I am saying in which sense? Noun only. So walking, if I am saying he is walking, he is riding, so that is what? Action only. But here what we are saying, both of us go for a walk. So whenever you are preceding a verb having an article in front of it, okay, so that tends to become what? Noun over there. Second example, you can see my boss usually goes for a ride. Again, ride is nothing but an action, but what I am saying, a ride. So a plus verb. This is the indefinite article and this is what? Verb. So this action is now becoming what? Noun. Got the point? So when we are using this frame, it converts into a noun form. Next is he had a long talk. So what I am saying, he had a long talk. This long word is qualifying the noun, that is nothing but talk. Okay, talk alone, if I am saying it's what? It's a verb. But what I am saying, I had a talk, when I say like that. So that is what? It's changing the verb to which frame? Noun. So here a plus the verb, it is becoming to what? Noun. Got the point? Clear? So this is the manner that we can make a verb, okay, into a noun where it is functioning as a noun. So whenever the action or whenever the verb, okay, is functioning as a noun, we will be applying the indefinite article a over there, right? So these are the certain uses of the indefinite article. Next, moving towards the next word that we use as the indefinite article is an. Okay, so you can see here we are having two uses, and first use is before all singular common nouns beginning with a vowel. So when a word or when a noun is beginning with a vowel, okay, vowels means A, E, I, O, U. Okay, so whenever you are using a noun which is a common noun and it is starting with a vowel, in those all cases what will be applying the indefinite article an over there. So you can see the example, he is an old friend of mine. You can see we have used what? Old. Clear? So what you can see here also beginning with a vowel. So what is it's starting with what? O, which is a vowel. Okay, so that's why we applied what? An over there. Clear? So this is a manner. So if a word is starting with a vowel, we'll be using an. Okay, and just you need to see the previous one when we when I told you about a. Okay, but if the sound is coming out the consonant, we are using what? A, like a universal, okay, a unique entity when we say like that. Clear? Next use is that if a word starts with a consonant, that means if a word is starting with a consonant but gives the sound of a vowel, right? You are starting the word with a consonant but the sound is coming off vowel, then what should be used? And should be used before nouns starting with the alphabets. So there are only certain alphabets, okay, nothing but certain alphabets that are used as consonants, but the sound comes of what? Vowel. Okay, so in that cases what we will be applying? An over there, though word is starting with consonant. So the alphabets are what? F, H, L, M, N and X. So these are the alphabets. Okay, so if you are using any word that is starting or any noun that is starting with these alphabets, okay, these 6 alphabets, in that cases when we use the nouns that are starting with this one, the part of sound that echoes is of what? Vowel. So in that cases what will be applying? An. Clear? So you can see the alphabets, you have to remember these alphabets: F, H, L, M, N and X. So examples, that is an honorable man. You can see it is starting with what? H, isn't it, right? H is nothing but what? Consonant. But when we are saying it's not honorable, it's honorable. So it's the pronunciation, the sound is echoing from where? O, where H is silent. Got the point, right? Or like when we say an honest man. So over there also we are not saying honest, we are saying honest. So O is, that means at that time H is what? Silent. In the same manner here also. See, an X-ray, X-ray. So A is echoing over there. So that's why you're using an. Next, an LLB, LLB. Again, A is the echo part. So that's why you're using an. Then an MBA, A. That is again echoing. So that's why you're using an. Then an NCC officer, A. That is again the echo is coming of what? Vowel. So that's why we are applying an over there. Like an F, A. Again. The echo is coming, though it is F, but echo is of the vowel. That's why an. And HE school, again A, H, H, and we say. So A is echoing, so that's why using, but it's starting with what? The the word is starting with consonant, but the echo is of the consonant. Remember, these all are being used whenever we are using them, okay, mostly when we are using these words, okay, only apart from the word of like S when we are saying here in this part, right, mostly it's being used with the abbreviation frames. So when we are using them in abbreviative frames over there, we are always using what? And with it, right. So these are the certain terms, okay, some more uses we are having regarding the use of article and in the statement. Okay students, so we saw the use of indefinite article a and an separately. We are having some more indefinite article uses, that is including that we can use a also, we can use an also, okay. You can see the first one that we are given. The third one that we have is with certain phrases we use the article a or an. That means we can use a also, we can use an also, okay, with the phrases. So that are the phrases we can mention here. Only some I have given here. In a hurry, okay, tell a lie, then keep a secret, then at a loss, then take an interest, okay. So that means you can see in every phrase that I mentioned there is a article. Now a is here, here is also there is a, here is also there is a, here also we have used a over here, and here we have used an. So that means it's not mandatory that like we are using the indefinite article with only nouns, with only the part of subjects that we are using, right. It can be used with the phrases also, okay, but according to the word that is mentioned. That means we have to see that is the word starting with the consonant, okay, is the word starting with a vowel, and accordingly we will be using. So in that manner we have used a with the word hurry, then a with the word of loss, and is used because interest is there, I which is a vowel part, and here keep a secret, s which is a consonant, and tell a lie, a because l is a consonant, correct. So this is the way how we can use the indefinite article with phrases also. Next, coming to the point is a or an can be used instead of per. That means we can use a also, we can use an also if we want to tell about per character. Like when you say an hour ago, when we say like that, no, that means 1 hour ago, the same meaning, per many, okay. Per hour I have to do this, like when we say, okay, on per hour basis we say, right. So in that manner only, here you can see my salary is 50,000 rupees a month. So what I have used? Per. That is giving the sense of what? Per. I can say like this also, my salary is 50,000 rupees per month. That is also correct, right. So to give the frame or to give the meaning character of per, we have used what? Over here. So in the same manner as I told you an hour ago, that means per hour when we say like per hour you have to do this, okay, or an hour ago and it happened like that. So you are talking in the sense of what? Per hour characters over there. So when we talk about per, we use over there. Clear? So this is the frame, that is the use of the article a or an. So moving towards omission part, okay, we are having some basis of omissions also on the articles of a and an. So that is what you can see, the first one that is given. We do not use article with names of places, okay, when used for primary purpose. You have to remember we are talking about primary purpose. That means for what purpose it has been created or for what purpose it is being made over there. So when we are talking about the names of places, for what exact reason they are being created, okay. So in those terms we are not using any article. If you have made a school, if you have made a temple, right, you can see I have given the examples also: bed, church, school, temple, such terms, okay. So there are a number of words, just some I have written. You can see the example: Rajan has been sent to prison. So what I have used, what is the place mentioned here? Prison. And people are being sent to prison if you have done something wrong, okay. So in that manner, so for that reason only, when people do something wrong, they are being prison, you have to be in prison. So for that reason, so we cannot say Rajan has been sent to a prison or Rajan has been sent to the prison, wrong, or Rajan has been sent to an prison, that is also wrong, right. So we never apply any article if a place is defined for a primary purpose. As you can see the second example also, Meera is going to school. Okay, so here what I have mentioned is going to school. What is the place? School here, right? So here school is made for what? To educate the students, right? So people get educated if they go to school, right? But if I am saying I am going to the school of my cousin, or I am going to the school where my dad studied. So if I am saying in that manner you are going to a school, but it's not that every day you go to a school where your dad studied, isn't it, right? So there is a vast difference if you talk about the school and I'm simply using the word without any article. So when we want to specify something, in that cases we are using the definite article, which I have already told you when we took the definite articles. So here when we are talking in a general sense for a primary purpose, like when we go to hospital, okay, or when we go to school, these are the places that are being given for what? Primary purpose. So when you talk about any place that is of primary purpose, in that cases we won't be applying any article. That means no a, no an, or no the will come, right? So somewhat we are having as the omission part. So we'll see. Okay, so next omission that we have is the second one that you can see. We do not use any article before names of meal except when they are preceded by an adjective. So this is very important. You should know that when we are talking about meals, okay, when we talk about the meals part, okay, if we are using any meal in a statement, okay, it should not be having any article in front of it. No article should be placed in front of it. But we place the articles, or we only place the indefinite articles in front of the meals if they are preceded by what? An adjective. Like you can see here, the example given is we had breakfast at 8. So the meal that is defined here is what? Breakfast. Clear? So when we are talking about this statement, there is no adjective placed over here, right? So in the same manner as I told you, there is no article present in front of any meal that we are defining a statement, okay, if there is no adjective. So here you can see that there is no adjective, so we have used it alone. We have not used any article. Same manner, he gave us a good lunch. What I've used? He gave us a good lunch. What is the meal we find here? Lunch. Here it was breakfast. Here it is what? Lunch. Both are the meals, right? So, but what having here is adjective is there, isn't it? In front of. That is what is given here. If a meal that is defined, if it is preceded, okay, by an adjective, then only what will come? Article will come. So what we are having? He gave us. That's the only reason why we have applied the indefinite article A over here. Clear? So if you have the rule character, that if the thing is we have to remember is whenever we are defining a meal, if we are using any type of meal, if I am using a dinner, supper, breakfast, lunch, whatever, okay, if you are defining it in a statement, and if it is having I had a good lunch, right, if I am saying like that, so that means you are using adjective in front of it. If there is no adjective, no article will come in front of it, right? So this is one omission. The next omission that you can see is expressions of day and night. That means if you are using the expressions of day and night in a statement, okay, when preceded by, that means if you are using the expression of day and night in a statement, and if they are preceded by the four words, one is at, okay, one is by, third one is before, and the fourth word is after. So if you are using these four words, okay, in front of the word day and night, okay, you have to omit the use of the indefinite article here. So that is what you can see: at dawn, at night, at dusk, at sunrise, then after evening, by day and night, around midnight, right? So you can say like we are saying I have just used a different word around also, okay, but still you won't be using any article in front of it, right? So that is what, okay, at midnight you can say like that also, right? So the term is that if you are using any of these terms, that means if I am using at, by, before, after, or around, the word of around also, if in a statement, okay, and if I am using it in front of the word of day and night, in that cases also we have to omit the use of the indefinite article a over there, or a or an, right? So these are the terms. Okay, so we saw how we use the definite article, we saw the omissions, okay, we saw the uses also of the indefinite articles, we saw then the part of indefinite article, how they are used, where it is applied, okay, where we have to omit, okay. You have to remember these terms, because in exam when you get, okay, the questions of sentence error when you are getting, you may get certain terms in the statement. If you go for the part of the questions for whichever exam you are going for, SSC or bank, okay, everywhere you can see such questions, okay. So you may get the questions of sentence error, phrase replacement and all, and you just need to put up the correct word over there. So I hope it was beneficial for you, okay. And if you have a look on it like twice and twice, if you are going through the chapter, okay, you can easily score good marks with it. Okay, thank you so much.